Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tesla Podcast. I'm Imran. This is my friend Lupi on the right, and this is my friend Shahid on the left. And today we have a guest, Mr. Is. And today we're going to ask Mr. Is some questions about national education philosophy and the teacher education philosophy. So, Sir Is, before we start, can I ask you if you can share a bit about your background and experience in education?
Okay, thank you, Imran. Background and experience in education. Okay, I was born in 70, of course, way back, and then finished my formal school education in 1987. Then did my degree in 1988. I graduated 1994. 1999, I think I did my master's 1999, and then I had served in three secondary schools, and then I joined IPG in 2005. So this coming September would be I'll be having my 30th year of service. So I've been here more than 18 years, I think. Yeah.
30th year?
Yeah, this September it will be my 30th. I'll complete 30 years of service this coming September. Yeah, why are you so shocked? If I'm old, yes.
Because you look like younger than your age, sir.
Come on.
Actually, sir, I'm not lying.
Okay,
That's the fact.
Woohoo! Thank you.
Yeah.
Extra marks for you then.
Okay. So, but thank you for that, sir. But 30 years is a very long time.
Yeah.
You must be.
How old are you?
I'm 19 years old.
We're all still 19.
19 times 2 is 38. Yeah, so I'm way beyond
So
your
have
age.
you ever felt tired in those 30 years?
This motivation, it goes ups and down. There are days that you feel very tired, okay, because of certain things that you do in life. But there are days that you feel very much motivated. But having you inviting me in the podcast today, it makes me feel refreshed, motivated, appreciated. So yeah, it's the days, the good days, the bad days, as always in life, right? But I enjoy teaching. So far. I've never had any regrets. Yeah.
I see. Well, do you have any good days that happened to you?
Good days. Today is a good day. Alright,
Wow.
Today's a good day.
Because of us.
Because of
Because
you
of
guys,
us.
alright. Tomorrow is
We're
maybe a
happy to
better
hear
day because you're gonna treat me for lunch, right?
Yeah.
That'll be
Sure.
a better day. Alright, so of course there are good days, there are bad days. Okay, and when you see that your students graduating, and then you've heard that your friends doing well in school, winning awards and stuff, and now you feel as if that you've done something good in life. So that's a good thing. It's a good feeling. The feeling that you have served your country, you have paved a way to your students to achieve and fulfill this national education philosophy that we are going to talk about, right?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, those are the good feelings.
I see. Well, thank you, sir, for your sharing. So, I have another question. So, what is the significance of maintaining a disciplined society through education in Malaysia, in your opinion?
A disciplined society through education. How can you discipline a community without education? How can you discipline? You have to have education to discipline society. You cannot discipline society without knowledge. You cannot discipline society without knowing what's good and what's right. So you can only you have to rely on education. You have no other means.
Yeah.
Education is the only way that you have to rely on. Okay, even let's say the old days, they may not have proper schools like us, but they had sekolah pondok system.
Yeah.
Right? They had religious schools. They have madrasah system. and they even before that, they had chiramas, they had all those informal education systems. All of these were based on education. So there is no way you can have a highly civilized society without education. There is no way. Can you name me a society without education?
No.
It's impossible.
It's impossible. Even though we say that there's no education in that society, but indirectly there must be an education
Yes.
system even at the house, isn't it?
Yes, they may not have a formal education system, but there is always education informally lurking behind. In fact, every single day that you learn a new thing, that's education. You learn today that something's not working, education for you. So there is no way that we can survive without education. Correct, Lufil? What do you think?
What about the society, let's say in a rural area where there's like no connection on the outside, from the outside, let's say indigenous people, yes, orang asli.
Yeah, the indigenous people. So this is like again that what's been taught to them from generation to generation. Like even without formal education, they have survived. They're still there and they're surviving. In fact, our presence have put them in danger. Actually, they've been doing so well without us having them there, helping them. So for so many centuries, probably decades and centuries, they have survived without formal education. They kept their traditional life. They kept the same way of life. Because we compare our values with their values, which are not the same. All right. So we value modern life, even though we have this national education philosophy that says that we have to produce a well-rounded, balanced individual based on the emotional, spiritual, intellectual, and so on. All right. So those are our values. Our emotional values are not the same as their emotional values. Our intellectual is not the same as theirs. What kind of intellectual value that we need? We need to know technology. What do they need? Do they need technology? They not. They may not need technology. If we are referring to their own way of life, they need survival techniques. Right? They need to survive in the jungle. They need to know which tree produces good fruits, which tree produces the poison for their darts, and so on. So those are the values. Even though you can see that this national education philosophy of Malaysia, we have a general term. All we need is that we want to have a well-rounded student, right? So intellectually, spiritually, emotionally, and there must be well-balanced socially as well. So yes, overall you can have that. You can have that overall. Even that is also applicable to them. But their emotion is different, their intellectual is different, their spiritual is different. So even among us, modern life, like okay, you have Indians in Malaysia, Chinese in Malaysia, you have the Aborigines, the Kadazandaya, Malays and everything. We have to have that well-rounded life, well-rounded citizenship, for example. But the way it doesn't matter whether you believe in your God, you believe in your God, I believe in my God. But at the end of the day, that you want a well-rounded society, a well-rounded individual, okay, so that we are very mature in terms of living our life. Your religion is your religion, but it does not necessarily mean that we cannot work together. Alright? Do we need religion to work together?
No.
You can just work together.
Yeah, we can just work together.
Yeah. So like you're successful based on the environment that you're in.
Yep, exactly. So I don't know why some people they use this racial thing. You know, because when you can see clearly in national education philosophy or NEP, there is no mention of race by race. It's all about harmonious society. Everybody is reaching, pushing for the same thing.
So Can I ask you one more thing? So for example, like if someone isn't following the traditional path, as in going to college, then going to work at a corporate job and climbing the corporate ladder, do you think he can be successful if he went to make himself smarter through the internet and going through that to find a job and be a freelancer, or maybe even start a business like that? Do you think he can be successful if he just followed the internet?
That means you're talking about the differences whether which one will give you a better life or a better success. Those who follow a formal education system and those who go through a different let's say non-formal education system. Like say you learn Shahid learns is a good cook, but he never never gone to a cooking school. You learn from internet, and many people do. Yeah, they can be a successful cook as well. Definitely, yeah. Then they're not certain. There are many things that formal education system cannot offer. Things that you only learn in life, for example. You can be you can learn cooking, for example, in from a cooking school, but can you be a good cook? Not necessarily. Yeah, okay. You can be a teacher. You guys are trained to be teachers, right? So we can train you to be teachers. You know what's to be, what to do, how to design lesson plan, how to manage students in the classroom. You know how to look at the SKP. You know what to plan, the strategies to use. But can you be a good teacher? Not necessarily. So there are balance that you can do. For me, I feel that if you go through a formal education system, it's very good for the basics and the knowledge that's going to be given to you. But you also need to know and then, be exposed to this informal curriculum through, as you said, non-formal channels like internet, friends, parents, society, even the environment. You can learn that. In that way, you will make your formal education even better. You can be a good, let's say you learn to cook, but the people around you can make you a better cook, right? So that it enhances your skills even more. Okay, but having said that, you can see that lots of philanthropists like Bill Gates and Jeff, Mark Zuckerberg, those who have never finished their formal education, they're billionaires. So, yeah, but if your measurement of success is money, yes, but money is not a good indicator of being successful, isn't it? It's an indicator of being rich, but it's not an indicator of being successful, because you can be rich but a lousy person. You can be rich but stingy, all sorts of things. Yeah.
Well, what's your parameter for being a successful person?
Okay, that's a very good question. If you look at that national, what does our national education philosophy say? What are the elements in the national education philosophy? Come on!
I don't remember.
Tell me, my goodness! My goodness, what was the gist of national education philosophy? That we have to produce a well-rounded citizenship or citizens or individuals, right?
Yep.
Who are well-rounded or well-balanced spiritually, emotionally, intellectually, socially, all right? All the four, okay? Physically as well now, because social has been added, not added formally, but it's been also added as we discuss about it. So those are the aim of having the national education philosophy. So if you say that, that's the aim. What's the rate? How do we draw the parameter? Why should we draw a parameter? Because if you're drawing a parameter, that means you are. Is money? Is it money? Or is it just intelligence or is it behavior? So no, what we want is that a well-rounded citizen. That means we want all of them. All of them, okay? There is no point of Shahid being a billionaire, but stingy, right? Never want to treat friends for food. No point in being technologically advanced like you, right? But you don't even know how to give a speech. Right? There's no point in be physically good looking like Lowfield, but stupid. but that's my point. My point is that it means you have to be balanced. You have to be balanced.
Well then, sir, how does the NEP it contribute to like instilling those values like harmony,
Okay.
security?
Nice, good question. Because you are here, you are now learning how to be a teacher, right? How now you can see that in our life, you in our education system, the focal point or the one that we need to go and then aim for is NEP. That's the end. That's the product that we want. Along the way, to reach NEP, we have so many things. We have teacher education philosophy. We have curriculum. We have the SKP. We have lesson plans. So all this would help reaching the NEP. All right? That's a final product that you want. What do we want? We want a well-rounded citizen. That's what we want.
Yeah.
Okay? So along the way, we design so many things in your profession, because later you'll be teachers. Among other things that you need to see, look at that. What does it say? Teacher education policy. Teacher education philosophy. Sorry. You have to be honorable, forward thinking, scientific thinking. You uphold the aspiration of the country. You uphold, you preserve the traditions of the country. You favor the individual development. You are the togetherness. There's democratic democracy in there. You're progressive. You're disciplined. So to reach NEP, so we have to train you, teachers, to understand that it's not easy to reach NEP. You have to be very much, you have to strategize yourself. There's so many things that we need to do before you reach that. Okay, so realizing teacher education philosophies is just one of the ways. Okay, you designing a lesson plan. What do you have in your lesson plan? Tell me, among other things.
Teaching
You haven't reached that stage yet, right? No, not yet. Among other things are moral values. Right? Moral values is very important. Okay? So what do you want them to be?
A good person.
A good person. Okay? If you look at the SKP, what is the SKP?
I generally don't.
I can't remember it.
The SKP?
No.
Oh my goodness. Document standard?
Curriculum. No.
Document standard
Knowledge.
curriculum.
Curriculum and penilaian, right? Okay. The SKP, for you have English SKP, BM the SKP and so on. Alright. Now, you have the SKP. If you look at the SKP, there are moral values that are written there, like patriotism, self-value, and everything. So these are the things that you need to instill in your learners, right? And then having instilled all these values, you help them to be, building, designing, molding a well-rounded citizen. So all this, that's why people say teachers are engineers of a nation, because you are building the nation. Yeah, you're the biggest engineers of all.
We help make with the engineers.
You
that
either
help
make
engineers.
or break the country.
Yeah.
I get it. So, throughout your long years of being a teacher, right? It's not mean that you're
Okay,
you're still young
You don't
to
have to,
me.
you don't have to say that. I already understood that. Okay, you don't have to say.
What challenge do teachers face in applying the principle of NEP and TEP to create a disciplined society? And how can this challenge be addressed?
Okay, first question first. Challenges, right? Okay, challenges. Remind me of the second question.
Alright.
Challenges. Okay. Having you is a challenge.
Okay.
Having us. Alright.
Being individual is a challenge.
Yeah.
Okay, but those are minor things. Right now, the biggest challenge would be for me personally, if we are talking about the education system, is that there are certain things that we want to do, but we don't have enough money to do that. Look at us. All right, this is 1954. This institution was built in 1954. And look at the state of the buildings. All right. So we are lucky now that after applying for so many years, we've got some money to repair all the halls that we have at the moment. So yeah, there's so many things that we can do, but without money, we cannot do much. All right. So we can only reach a certain level. Okay, that's number one. And number two, are we ready for change? For example, we abolished UPSR. We abolished PT3. Okay. Why? Because we favor PBD, right? What is PBD again?
Pentasyiran. Berterusan.
I don't know.
Pentasyiran berdasarkan guru.
Okay, alright. I'm gonna twist your ears after show. Alright.
I'm sorry.
Pentasyiran Bilik Darjah, right?
Oh yeah, that's the way.
Alright, PBD. Because we're doing that at the moment, right? Okay, we don't have any PT3 anymore and UPSR anymore. But we forgot that to do PBD or classroom assessment, you need to have a lower number, the lower ratio of student teacher. I cannot be observing and assessing my students if there are 40 of them in the classroom. So are we ready for that? No, we are not. So we have never taken this into consideration. I think we are still, yeah, of course, we are learning from mistakes, right? If you look at does this mean that the classroom assessment is not working? No, it's working. It's working well in other countries. But other countries have other conditions that support this PBD or classroom assessment. They have lower ratio of teacher-student ratio. They have, I don't know, maybe cameras that they can observe in the classroom. They have a different educational system. If I'm not mistaken, I can't remember one of the Scandinavian countries. They also don't have any formal exam until the students come to the age of 16, which we want to do.
Isn't that Finley?
Most probably, I can't remember the country
I'm
though.
pretty sure it's Finley.
So, but look at the ratio, student ratio over there, student teacher ratio. So we are having that's huge challenge. Financially, our readiness, parental expectations. Now that parents want UPSR to come back. So yeah.
But I heard some news that the PSR will be going again, right?
Parents are pushing for the UPSR to come back again but I would say, I mean, what we want to do is not, my personal view is not that why should we go back? We have moved forward, right? Why should we go back? Now, we have bought a modern jet, for example, right? But we cannot use a jet well. Why? Because our airport is small.
Oh.
So what do? We discard the jet. We have spent billion buying jets, or we expand our airport.
Expand it.
So now, if we expand our airport, we have a better airport, we have a better transportation. All right. Now we have a good assessment system, which is proven to work overseas, but we have poor classrooms, poor student ratio. So what should we do? So we discard that so that we can continue having poor classroom, higher ratio. I don't see. Can you see what I'm trying to say?
Okay.
Yeah. So why should we turn back? I think we should go forward. What we need to do now is to improve our student ratio system, our teacher ratio system, improve the classroom, have more schools, having lower number of students per school or per classroom. That's what we should do. Okay. So there are a lot of challenges, right? How do we overcome them? It's difficult. It's difficult because these come from us in the beginning. This come from us, and I feel that sometimes we fail to understand that. No, we fail to open the minds of everyone in society. Yeah, okay. Sometimes, if we say it can be, this is a sensitive issue. You're condemning the government and so on. But I'm not trying to say that. We don't, or we fail to do our homework before we apply certain things. Am I too critical?
But critical.
Am I too critical over this issue? I mean, I could be barred from Malaysia afterwards.
No.
But the thing is that we fail to understand the whole situation. That we're not ready to move forward, and we fail to understand which part of, and elements that the nation needs that needs improvement. So, you simply means we simply need education. That's the first driving force of civilization. Right? We need health to sustain our people's health, and we need armed forces for our safety. 3 major issues. We don't need skyscrapers. Right? We don't need to send people to the moon. Alright, so that's the thing. I mean, yeah, how do we overcome? Awareness, more education. We have to educate people so that they can be educated. Only that can open people's eyes. Only that can make people understand that we can move forward. Until we really educate, we can really educate people, we can never move forward.
I see.
I don't know, that's my view. You may have a different view. This is a free country, anybody can talk. Kind of thing.
Of course. Well, thank you for your sharing that, sir. Now, for the final question for today's podcast, how do you envision the future of Malaysia's education system in continuing to shape a disciplined and excellent society?
How do I envision?
Yeah.
How do I envision to reach NEP, right? To see education policy, the change that. I don't know, Imran, it's very difficult to say because but we are making progress. I've been here 18 years and I've seen changes in the at least in the curriculum of teacher education. All right. When in the old days you would never see coursework that requires you to submit using technology or digitally. Now there is no coursework that does not require. Every coursework requires digital.
Yep.
So you can see that. So in the future, what I see is that we will go a lot more. It's a shame because I feel that we have to rely on human touch, emotions there. But people are beginning to rely more and more on digital, on technology. And so you have teacherless society. We have teacherless classroom, teacherless society. Okay, where everything is given for free, open, virtually. But you can have a lot of knowledge virtually, but you can never have a human touch. And that's when emotion comes in, isn't it? And you remember, NEP, you have to have a well-rounded citizen, well-rounded individual. It's not just about intellectual, emotion, right? Physical, and mental. So this is all a thing. So it's a very scary question because I envision in the future more and more classrooms be without teachers. But that scares me because sometimes, when you lose that human touch, if I can say, you will lose your human soul. What's gonna happen to our society?
Depressing.
There you go. All right. So I don't know. I don't know. That's why I foresee that teachers will play less and lesser role in the future education. But I hope I am wrong. I hope I am wrong.
Yeah, it is quite depressing if that actually happens.
Yeah, very depressing.
We just leave it to the future for now.
Yeah, all we can do is pray. Alright, that's what we can do. Yeah. Even robots can pray now.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if that's right, but okay. Thank you so much for today, Sir Is. You've been really helpful and informative. Yes. So I think this is it for our podcast today. We will see you later. Goodbye.
Alright, bye bye. Thank you for having me.
Okay.